Last point now, subtitles. I want to come to that because I have actually been working on subtitles and the subtitle topic and captions for past 2, 3 years. And I have actually implemented at SCP. I've been working on internal needs of captions, just like a lot of the all hands meetings or town hall meetings or department meetings, division meetings, and all the doing it for the visually impaired or the hearing impaired. Okay, so accessibility, it's the whole accessibility thing right now, diversion and inclusion, diversity inclusion, and to be able to include people that can't hear that well and colleagues that just are they're deaf or they're hearing impaired to quite a significant amount. They can't really attend the meeting and get it. So you want to provide live captions or you want to provide captions for replays. Okay, and there's more time to actually do better quality in the replay. Okay, and that's what I was focusing on. And I could actually do incredible results with the speech. Now this is speech to text systems. I was able to actually do incredible results of, let's call it post editing on a monolingual post editing. It's not bilingual post editing, it's monolingual post editing because of the speech to text. And I was getting incredible results because I was just applying the same thing that I've done in empty post editing to a monolingual situation. And I was using the whole minimum post editing and all that, and not trying to focus on the maximum post editing for high quality. Because when you're doing this kind of approach of it doesn't matter if you have punctuation, all this kind of stuff. Just get the words right, get the terminology right, And I built a dictionary to actually do this, and it got 82%. I mean, it's got 82% improvement on those 500 terms. That's not very much, but the 500 terms were the critical terms, the highly frequent ones. And if you try to pump in a huge multi-million word dictionary into a thing, it'll just kill the system. So you can't kill it. You can't deal with the performance. But it did get very high, and I was able to replace myself by building that dictionary to a certain, not completely replace myself, but I was able to replace all this frequent changes that we're doing in 7,000 minutes of caption post editing. Okay, monolingual post editing, 7,000 minutes based on a number of videos, and I was able to do some data mining. Say here are the terms we want to customize, and by doing that, we were able to just remove a significant amount of time of my caption post editing. Okay, again, monolingual, same language, speech to text. That can apply, and that can be used also for the multilingual. I don't go more into this, but this is a really niche topic. The whole thing between captions and subtitles and the difference between them and transcripts. And I don't want to go all the details right here for the people that aren't into that, but I've been really working on this. But I've got really great results. And maybe someday I'll be able to say something about it more. I'd have to go through company approval process and all that kind of stuff. Maybe you do an article or a presentation on it sometime to say what did, because it's not really that it's just saying how it did and we're not giving the data away. Okay, so but it can be done, and this is reproducible, fully reproducible. And what's happened if we give it to another team, because I couldn't continue doing it alone, and it wasn't really in the responsibility of my department to actually do this, but I did it because I had the expertise to be able to do this. And we actually handed off to another team, and they're doing whole service on it right now. So that's been successful. I mean, that's been good. Again, it's not to replace anybody. It's to, and a lot of this is non-budgeted content for translation. It's just non-budgeted. Or sometimes it's budgeted for the high division meetings or global meetings. Okay, but when you start getting down to department meetings, taking meeting minutes, and all that kind of stuff, hey, you want a system that can do the meeting minutes for a team meeting and not have to pay for it. You don't want to start paying for even editing of these things for all the departments of an entire company. It's impossible. There would be no budget for this. So, but it's able to package and do it. And I think this is the key thing is this can be done in an efficient way. But the problem is that all these other, and I did not have all those other factors I mentioned in this whole long video here. I didn't have all these language industry selling, pitching things because I was managing my entire subtitle project or subtitle caption thing. I was pitching it to the marketing comms people, the internal comms and in place. And I pitched it, I packaged it right, I made it the right price, and people bought it, and it was such great quality because I have expertise in the company, and I have access to all of the names of people and all that. Because you got to fix the things. I had access to everything I need to be able to make it a really great service. And I didn't, but because outside vendors, if they're doing it, they're not going to have access to people's names dictionaries and all that kind of stuff, or people names, and the profile of like the people or the company or Outlook or the names. I could find that, I could find it immediately, and it was a great service, and I was getting way better quality than the live captions people were doing because they have no access and they're doing just a phone here. I was doing, and so my replay service, the replay caption post editing service, was just so high quality. But not high quality here is different. I'm not, no punctuation, no over engineering of the things. It's just made for people to read. Can they get it quickly? Okay. I'm not no capitalization stuff, and it's got to be close, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Uh, it's got to be minimal, and the price match. The pricing was really good for the service provided, but if people wanted something more, they want to start putting capitalization and stuff at the beginning of the sentence. I said, hey, that's not the service I'm doing. If you want to do that, you got to spend the time doing it yourself. I give them the transcript file, you clean it up and do it, and then that's an extra cost. Okay, so this kind of thing is this can be done, but again, I was selling it, and I sold it right, and I sold it for the right price, and I sold the service, and it was a service that I was basically being charged cross billed internally on, and it did really well, because I knew what I was selling, and I wasn't underselling it, and it can be done. But the problem, I think, what you're seeing in the post editing, like in the whole subtitle industry, it's not being done right. It's just not being sold right. Um, and with the skills and things and this all can be done technically because I've done it. But and then you can add the whole translation part of it too. Add machine translation post editing on top of that, which I've worked on too on the whole thing. Once you get the whole right thing done in the first part of it, the speech to text, then you can do for the translation for the subtitles or the caption, or what do you want to call these, into the other language. All this can be done. It just has to be done right from the start. It's all planning. It's all project planning. It's well done in the skills, and you know how to do it. And if you've got a really good idea of the whole process, how it's done, and manage the dictionaries on this, or the overriding of the dictionaries to make it good, really quality up front, and have the MT dictionaries on top of it, multilingual. Hey, this can all be done. So, but it's just poor planning. Okay, whatever you're seeing is just poor planning, low budget, people not selling and upselling the services as should, and so you end up with just projects that aren't worth your time. I would say no, just no. I would say no to those. I wouldn't do them because I know that it's just a waste of time. The revenue isn't worth it. So learn to say no more than say yes. Um, and work on and qualify your projects and qualify ones you accept.